Hi, everybody. This is Raymond Camden with a tip that probably a lot of you already know. This may sound crazy, but there are some software tools that I have that I use and I never read the docs. I never go deep into them. I just do the bare minimum and then I put the tool away. That may sound dumb, but I've done that a couple of times. And an example of that is with Postman. I've been using Postman for, I feel like, 10 years or so, and not very heavily, just kind of, barely. So there was a lot to it that I missed until recently. One of my coworkers, Ben Vanderberg, shared something with me that kind of blew my mind. And this is not necessarily new, and y'all may already know this, but it completely changed my mind about how often I should use Postman, and I've been using it more often since then. I'll also say this is the first of two videos covering things that I did not know and wish I had known earlier. So I'm going to show you an example here. The Firefly API, the Adobe Firefly API, like a lot of APIs, begin by having you take your credentials, hitting a authentication endpoint, and getting a access token back. And you can see that example here. I'm hitting the authentication endpoint. I'm passing a variable for client ID and client secret that is in my environment. And you can see them right there. There are two secret variables. And then when I get this back, I'll get an access token. My second request, in this case, the text to image endpoint, it's going to reuse my client ID value, but it needs the access token from the previous call for it to work. And you see, I have a variable for client ID that exists, and Postman is nicely kind of warning me that it doesn't know what the access token is. Now, stupid me, whenever I did something like this in the past, I would run my script, I'd get the value, I'd copy and paste, I would go in here, paste it, and then run. And the reason I kept doing that is because an access token, typically lives for some amount of time, and it was enough for me to do my testing and just not worry about it. However, what I discovered, again, thanks to my coworker Ben, is that you can actually use a script in the post response to look at the response from the API and set a variable. You could set different kinds of variables. So, for example, in this case, I'm setting one in the environment, but I could also set it in the collection. And essentially, I'm saying take that access token and create a variable in my environment for access token. So I'm going to run this, and I had the response minimized because y'all are nice people, but I obviously don't want you to see my access token. So I will run this, and it got the result, which again is hidden from y'all. But now, in theory, if I go over here, access token now actually has a value because the script set it. And if I run it, I will get a response because I have all my authentication information. Now, I am not going to click on test environment to show you that the variable exists. It just does. The reason I'm not going to is because there is a 2-year-old bug that talks about the fact that the JavaScript reference that, I'm sorry, the JavaScript SDK, API, whatever, that you can use in Postman does not allow you to programmatically set it to secret. And this is still open, so I don't know why it's there. And I can manually go in there and change it to secret. Pretty sure that will persist. Pretty sure. But just an FYI on that. And by the way, if you want to look at the full reference, because you could do a heck of a lot more than just setting variables, and in fact, that's what my next video is going to talk about. That is the documentation. I will include a link to this in the video. But again, this has completely kind of made me reevaluate how much I'm going to use Postman. Hope this was helpful. Leave me a comment if this was new to you as well, and enjoy.